Hello, scrappy friends. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday. So this is a pre-recorded Workshop Wednesday this week because I am out making memories to bring home to do some more scrapbooking. So I didn't want to leave you hanging without your Workshop Wednesday for this week, so I went ahead and pre-recorded it for you. So today we're going to work in our Keeping Scrapbooking Simple series, where we use the Creative Memories 52 scrapbooking project recipe book, and I have gone through and picked out recipes in here that I feel keep our layout simple. By that it means keeping our page cut simple, keeping the embellishments a little bit on the simpler side, but it doesn't mean that we're going to create a page that we don't like. It's just more simple. Okay, so we are working on page 28 and 29 of the recipe book, and here is what it looks like. It is recipe number 12 if you have the book. If you do not have a copy of this book, never fail. I have already uploaded the original project recipe onto my blog. It's going to look a little different than this because they use different paper and a different collection. That is it. The actual recipe is the same. So you can pop on over to my blog right here at DianeGutierrezScrapbooking.com and print off a free PDF to follow along. So let's look at what we have today. And wouldn't you know it, at first glance you might not recognize it, but we have another half and half design. And I think that it's once you get familiar with what your go-to designs are, so if you follow me, you know the half and half is one of my favorites. Once you get used to what your go-to designs are, you're going to see them popping up in sketches a lot. And I enjoy that. I like seeing that, and it kind of just makes me feel good that I'm not the only one who likes that design. But anyway, this has a fun technique to it, and I'm going to tell you what that is before you pick out your paper and before you cut your paper, because you'll see here in the corners what they have done is they took, this is the half a piece of paper, you'll see right here, it's designer paper number 1. They cut it in half and then they flipped it so they have one side here and then the opposite side here. So make sure you like both sides of the paper, because then what they did is they folded back one little corner on each side to reveal the paper. This is a really fun technique, and it brings in the pattern paper onto both sides of the layout. So for this recipe, you're going to see we need 3 pieces of designer paper or pattern paper. And on this first piece, I already said you want to make sure you have one you like both sides of. And over here, this whole section here will be used for frames or little tucking pieces. And you'll see here they're also reversing the sides of that. So if you like both sides, that's perfect. If you don't, maybe you want to run to your stash and exchange it for something else. You see here they use it as a little tucking piece. So there's a photo mat and then a little half piece. I like this design. I've done this before and I really enjoy that. It kind of brings in all of our fun paper and both sides. And then we have on the third piece, we're just going to bring in a couple strips of paper, some photo blocks, and these little pieces are here just as little fillers. So of course, if you adjust your photos and not use the photos that they recommend here, you might eliminate that as well. But I'm going to create it like it is here so that you can see what it looks like. Here in the recipe, they use the Back to School collection, and I'm going to be using the new Birthday Jubilee collection. And then one last thing, they bring in a border punch. And here you'll see they brought in the notebook edge, which is just perfect for back to school. Since I'm doing a birthday theme, I wanted to bring in something a little different. And there is so many that we could probably bring in, but I want to play some more with the new cyclic circle. I think this will be fun for a birthday layout, so I'm hoping this goes as planned. So that's what I'm going to bring in for this. And then you also see here I have on my desk the new celebration cake punch here as well. I'm going to break this out for the first time today and get this on my page as well. Let me show you the collection really quickly. If you haven't seen it, it's the new birthday collection put out by Creative Memories. These are the 3 pieces I'm going to use for my layout today, but you'll see this is a really good representation of the colors that are in this collection. They're so bold and beautiful, and you really can use this for all kinds of birthday layouts. Okay, then I'll bring in some of the embellishments, some gems from my stash, and of course the sticker sheets. And you can see I've already been playing with this. For my paper number 1, where I'm going to cut it in half and use part of it on each side, I'm going to use this cute candle paper. The back side is just a blue stripe, so I think that's going to look really good split in half across the page. For designer paper number 2, I'm going to bring in this orange dot paper. It's a tone on tone. It's a cute playful dot. The other side is some cupcakes. I do want this to shine through, and so we know it's cupcakes. So I need to pay attention to this one because of the direction. Same with this first piece. So I'm going to keep that up to remind me. And then for paper number 3, I'm going to use this cute confetti, or I guess it's actually some ribbon curl. We're not using the back side of this one, but it's a nice orange like water wash. Let's go ahead and start with paper number 1. So since this is a directional piece of paper and I do want it to be correct on the paper, let me pull my little foot out underneath here. Did you know our trimmer has a little foot here, and if you click it and put it in place, it really helps to stabilize your arm when you put it out. But anyway, I want this to be running horizontally across the page, so I need to make sure I'm turning it and cutting it how I want it to be displayed on the page. So it's going to, once I cut it, I'll have this section right here. And I'm going to cut this at 6 inches and then turn this one over. That'll be the bottom half of the right-hand page. Okay, let's put those aside. So this is the piece I need to pay attention to, because I want the cupcakes at that bottom portion of the cutting to be vertical, because when they come over here, I want them to be going up and down. This is the only piece that matters. The rest is going to be showing the orange side, and so it won't matter. I'm going to make sure I'm turning the paper so that when I'm cutting it into its rectangle, it'll be turned going vertical on the page. So let's try this out and let's hope that works. So I'm going to keep my paper like this. I think that's going to work. And again, I'm bringing in a cyclic circle, and I want to punch out from this side. So I'm just going to turn it. That probably doesn't matter, but just to keep it straight in my mind, I'm going to punch on this side. I'm going to punch out 2 rows. Now this is what I like to call an inset punch. So the design is going to stay inside of the paper. I will have to trim it after I punch each row. And you'll see here, I like to go about slightly more than the 1 1/4 inch mark to give me a nice border. Okay, now we have the rest of our paper, and it's going like this again. And we need to do 2 strips at 4 1/4 each. 1/4. We'll do 2 of those. Now I'm going to turn these, and I'm going to cut. I stacked them together. You don't have to. You could do them each individually, but it's the same cut. 4 1/4 again. And we're going to do that twice. Let me restack those. 4 1/4. And then here's our piece we were concerned about. Our cupcakes look like they're going in the right direction. Hopefully when we get to page layout, they still will be what I am thinking. So those 2 will stay up like that. And now we have one more piece left to cut, this cute confetti paper. We're going to cut 2 strips of 2 inches each. Then we're going to bring that arm out again, cut this at 6 inches. And then with this piece, we're going to turn it and cut it at 4 1/2 inches. And then the same thing right here. And then this is scrap for later. And then we have one more piece to cut, and this one is a 2-inch piece that we're going to trim at 4 inches. We're going to do that twice. We have one more piece for our scrap. And that's our that's the cutting of our paper. Let me put my trimmer away and pull out my boards. Hold on one moment. So for my layout today, I'm going to use just white cardstock. This is actually bright white. I think because I'm using some darker and bolder pattern paper for my page today, I think white's gonna help them really pop out. Okay, let's put the smaller things aside and start with those half pieces because we are going to do one up here at the top and the other down here at the bottom. Now that we have our papers in place, we're going to do our little fold over design. And all we're going to do is, in fact, if it's easier for you, you might want to take a little repositionable tape and hold down the first half of the pattern paper. Then you're going to come over here, and it's about a 2-inch square that we're working with. So you're going to fold it back until you'll see here on my board it's to the 10-inch mark. So I'm going to just hold it there, push it down, and then I can come back in here and then right under here as well. So kind of cute and different. I like it. Like I said, it brings in the pattern from both sides. Now this piece over here, my candles are going to be upside down. Not what I was hoping for, but I don't think there's going to be any way around it. And it's going to be such a small piece, I don't even think it's going to matter. It's more of a cute little thing. So I guess my advice would be to do this perfectly. You would want to make sure you are using both sides with no direction to it. Okay, you're going to see it's just a small amount. And I really like the candles, so it's not going to matter. And you're going to see it's going to be such a small amount. So I'm going to do the same thing. Let me turn my board this way, and I'm going to roll it back until it gets to about the 10-inch on both edges, and then press it down. See, just a little pieces popping through there. It's cute. I like this. I'll be using this design again. I really think that's cute and kind of playful, which we want for a birthday layout, right? The next thing we want to do is we want to kind of assemble our borders here. So let's bring in our mat. And what they have is they took their border and they put it here. You have room here for a 1.5-inch border. I trimmed mine to 1 1/4, so I have a little bit more showing up here than you'll see in the example, but it goes like that. And I think it's very cute that I have the little confettis popping out behind there. And then this is going to come over here and over here. We might play with the adjustment just a little to make our page look cohesive, but we want the orange circles to all line up. Then the next thing we want to bring in is the 4 squares that we cut. These are each 4 1/4. We're going to put 2 down here at the bottom and then 2 up here at the top. You see how that orange just pops on that white cardstock? We have 2 photo mats out of this ribbon or confetti paper. One's going to go down here and one's going to go up here, and that's what I want to make sure that I'm not kind of encroaching in on the space of the photo mats, and I think that looks really good the way it is, and I still have a nice white border around these 4 photo mats. And then we have our decorative pieces, which I think is very nice about this layout, is we're bringing back in some pieces that don't really have a purpose except for to bring in more color and pop to our page. But you can also use these if you wanted to for a cluster base. Then we have the 2 cupcake ones that I was being so careful with, and it looks like they are going to be going the right direction, so that's good. And I have 1 for each on top of these photo mats. So there you go. That is our simple layout. I don't think that was too hard. It would really, you could change up your punch according to whatever your theme is, and I think the cuts are very simple. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to go get my photos and come back and show you what my photos look like on this, and I'll get all the pieces adhered down while I'm away as well. But I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you to please click that like button. You know it helps spread my content both on Facebook and on YouTube, so I appreciate when you do that. So thank you, and I'll be right back. We are ready to do our photo placement, and I'm documenting today some photos of my son's 11th birthday. I've already cut these down according to the size in the project recipe. So what we have is we have 2 that are 5 inches by 3.5 inches. And this is my favorite photo of all the photos I have for today because he was so excited that he got his very first Xbox. This was back in 2010, and I think he's been through a couple Xboxes since then, but I know he was very excited and he's making that silly face. So I'm going to put that picture right up here in the top as my highlight photo. And then here we're having cake, and I'm going to bring that one down here to this other area. Then I have 4x4 photos that I've already trimmed down as well, and it kind of just shows him opening up his presents. So I'm going to maybe tell like a little bit of a story. So here he's getting the box. He opens it up and he's surprised. Then he's getting a little something from his sister, then a picture of grandma. So kind of tells a little bit of a story there. Super easy, just like that. Our photos are on and we are ready to get right into embellishing and our journaling and title. So for my journaling, I brought in this card. It's from the Birthday Jubilee collection. I loved it because it's bringing in some of the yellow. I'm pretty lucky because I think I have every color represented here in the collection, so any card would have worked. I liked it because it says this was the best, and I know he would agree that that probably was his best birthday when he got that first Xbox. And so I'm going to use that as my journaling spot, and I'm going to put it right down over here. Now for my title, I took this one off of the sticker sheet. I wanted to just mention that you guys know I like to take the sticky off of my stickers to move them around and play with them. And Creative Memories just this week brought back their anti-static tool, which helps me take sticky off the back of my stickers so I can play around. So I would want to put it right up here, but I feel like it's getting washed into the background a bit. So in this collection, we have these adorable frames. I love these, and I think I'm going to put it right over here, kind of at an angle, and say, it's my birthday. I think I'm going to maybe back this. I'm going to go get some blue and back that. Here's a scrap. Let's see. Oh, it was almost the perfect size. Let me trim that. There we go. It would be really cute left open as well, but with those candles popping through, I thought it was a bit busy. So let's bring our sticker back in, and it's going to be like flying off the side like that. There we go. I have a couple of presents here from the embellishment pack, and I thought I would put these down here toward the bottom of that frame. There we go. That's cute. This one I've already put up onto some foam squares, so I thought it would be cute. Kind of popped up on top of that present also. Helps tell my story about opening the present. Now over here, in our recipe, they really only embellished in this area and this area. But like I was saying earlier, these spots make good for embellishments too. So if you wanted to, you can come back and do something there. I am going to focus like they did and just do the two areas. They had a little bit smaller card, and I could maybe tuck this one in. But for now, I'm going to put it side by side like that. And this is where I'm going to bring in the celebration cake punch. This is going to be super cute, and I want to use it. It's new. Now, this one did sell out with Creative Memories very quickly. It's coming back in. So if you missed out, you have another opportunity. But I do have a couple of these on my website if anybody's interested in that. I'm just going to punch out. I'm going to use orange, because I have a lot of orange already in my layout, and why not? That's what I really loved about this Birthday Jubilee collection, is that it brought in that orange, and I like orange. I just don't use it a lot unless it's fall or something. I'm gonna just do one punch out. Here's what it looks like. It's a super cute punch out, and you can go back and take your time, punch out a couple, and then change the little frosting or the little plate down here, and add some flames to behind your flames to make it look two-tone. Lots we can do with this punch, but for today I'm going to keep it very simple and just use the cake, because over on this side we're having cake, so I thought perfect. In fact, let me show you what else we can do. We can maybe back that behind there. Let me go ahead and do that. I have this little piece of scrap from that blue up there, and let's go ahead and add that. Bring in my scissors and trim this out a little. There we go. Gave it a little bit of decoration, but not too much. And that's all we did, was back the back part of that with the blue. That's cute. Other thing I wanted to do over here was to bring in this confetti or this curling ribbon. and tuck it over here. Because I used it on this layout, I thought it would be a good opportunity to, let's see, do we want to tuck it this way or that way? Oh, yep, for sure this way. I'm taking that dark blue, tucking it under, and it really helps all these to kind of pop out. I think I'm going to add this up onto some foam squares to help pop that up. There we go. The only other thing I want to do is I want to bring in a couple little finishing touches. I had these little enamel dots from another collection, and there you go, perfect with my birthday Jubilee. How about the blue? And I think what I'll do is adhere that cake right there and then bring in 3 little gems like this, just to give it a little bit of a finishing touch there. And then up here, I kind of like the yellow, or do I want orange? Yeah, I think I'm going to bring in yellow to kind of bring in that color a bit. Yeah, let's do that up here. I only have 2 of these, so 2 it will be, and I will do something like that. I like it. There we go. I'm going to get all this adhered down, and then I will post a picture later on in my Facebook group of the finished layout. I hope you try this project recipe out, and thank you for joining me on this week's Workshop Wednesday. I'll be back next week live at 11 a.m. Pacific time over on Facebook. I hope you come and join me. We will be doing a little bit of Valentine's fun over there next week and doing a layout based on love. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.